More than 20,000 Palestinian children killed, over 44,000 injured, 97% of Gaza schools damaged or destroyed, and a clear pattern of Palestinian children being deliberately targeted and killed by the Israeli security forces.
The deliberate, targeted killing of Palestinian children, sexual and gender-based violence, targeting of critical infrastructure essential to children.
These are among the findings of a United Nations investigation that is the most scathing so far. The man presenting these findings is not a diplomat or a politician. He is a retired Indian judge. His name is Justice Muralidhar. Justice Muralidhar's name is associated with some of the most consequential legal battles in India in the past 2 decades. This was the same judge transferred unceremoniously by the Modi government in the middle of the night. The man who was never brought to the Supreme Court as a judge is today chairing a UN Commission of Inquiry examining one of the world's most devastating conflicts. So who exactly is Justice S. Muralidhar? And why was he chosen to lead an investigation whose findings are making headlines around the world? I am Pooja Prasanna, and let me explain. Every week, we make a choice. We can move quickly from one trending story to the next, or we can spend our time chasing the details, the history, and the context that often gets left out. We have chosen the second path. It's slower, it's harder, and it often involves long days and late nights of research for me and my team. But we believe it leads to better stories. And the truth is, we cannot do this if you don't support us. Every contribution to Let Me Explain is, in a way, a vote of confidence to that very approach. That people are willing to engage with complexity, care about context. And if that's why you keep coming back to this channel and to this show, then please consider supporting our work. Scan the QR code on your screen and contribute any amount of your choice to keep Let Me Explain going. And before we begin, scan the QR code and follow the Let Me Explain WhatsApp channel. We're working on some exciting new ideas for Let Me Explain, and we'll be sharing more about them on this very channel, so you can be the first to know. Now back to the report. The findings come from a United Nations Commission of Inquiry examining alleged violations in Gaza and the occupied Palestinian territories. The latest report focuses specifically on children. The Commission found that children have borne a disproportionate share of the war's impact. More than 20,000 Palestinian children were killed and over 44,000 injured between October 2023 and October 2025. Many were displaced repeatedly. Others lost parents, siblings, and caregivers. And according to the inquiry, Israeli military operations resulted in extensive destruction of schools, universities, hospitals, shelters, and residential areas relied upon by children. The report estimates that 97% of Gaza schools were damaged or destroyed. Universities were reduced to rubble. Hundreds of thousands of children lost access to education. One of its central conclusions is blunt. The essence of childhood has been destroyed. It also makes serious findings regarding the conduct of Israeli forces. Presenting the report to the UN Human Rights Council, Justice Muralidhar said the Commission found evidence of a clear pattern showing that Palestinian children had been deliberately targeted and killed by Israeli security forces. The report cites doctors who describe repeatedly treating children with gunshot wounds to head, neck, and chest. The Commission also examined allegations involving sniper fire and armed drones.
The gunshot wounds were specifically directed at the head and the neck to cause maximum damage. In one instance, a breastfeeding baby was shot by a quadcopter through the head and the baby now suffers a permanent paralysis.
The report also looked at allegations involving the detention of Palestinian children, including claims of ill treatment and sexual violence. Perhaps its most significant conclusion concerns what happens after the war. Justice Muralidhar warned that even if the bombs and guns fall silent in Gaza and West Bank, Palestinian children will simply not recover overnight. So who was the man who led this commission? That's where we come to Justice S. Muralidhar. The answer to why the UN chose him to lead an inquiry into one of the most serious humanitarian investigations in the world perhaps lies in the record that he built over many decades. Let's look at some of them now. In 2018, a bench led by him convicted senior Congress leader Sachin Kumar in a case related to the 1984 anti-Sikh riots. The riots erupted after Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was assassinated by her Sikh bodyguards, and this led to days of anti-Sikh violence across North India, particularly in Delhi. Thousands were killed, but many victims spent decades seeking justice. The Delhi High Court overturned Sachin Kumar's acquittal and sentenced him to life imprisonment. The judgment was significant because it described the riots as having features of crimes against humanity and even criticized the failure of institutions to hold perpetrators accountable. Just months earlier, Justice Muralidhar had delivered another landmark judgment in the Hashimpura massacre case. The massacre took place in 1987 when members of the armed police rounded up Muslim men during communal tensions in Uttar Pradesh, shot them and dumped their bodies in canals. A bench led by Justice Muralidhar overturned the acquittal of 16 policemen, convicted them and even sentenced them to life imprisonment. Another landmark case came in 2009. Justice Muralidhar was part of the Delhi High Court bench that delivered the Naz Foundation judgment. At the time, Section 377 of the IPC criminalized consensual same-sex relations. The ruling held that criminalizing private relationships between consenting adults violated constitutional guarantees of dignity, equality, and personal liberty. Although the Supreme Court later reversed the judgment, it eventually restored the same principle in 2018. Today, the Naz Foundation ruling is remembered as one of the foundational moments in India's LGBTQ+ rights movement. Justice Muralidhar also authored and participated in a series of judgments expanding transparency and accountability within public institutions. In one notable case, the Delhi High Court held that information relating to judges' assets can be disclosed under the Right to Information Act. The ruling became part of a larger national debate about transparency within the judiciary itself. His courtroom also frequently dealt with issues affecting people with limited political influence. His judgments address food security, welfare benefits, housing rights, police accountability, and much more. A recurring theme was that constitutional rights are meaningful only if ordinary citizens can actually access them. And in 2020, Justice Muralidhar's transfer became one of the most controversial judicial episodes of the year. The controversy was not about whether the transfer was legal. The Supreme Court Collegium had already recommended that he be moved from Delhi High Court to the Punjab and Haryana High Court. What raised questions was the timing. In February 2020, as communal violence spread across Delhi, Justice Muralidhar was presiding over an urgent late-night hearing. His bench questioned the Delhi police about their response to the riots, directed that injured victims receive immediate medical treatment, and asked why action had not been taken regarding inflammatory speeches by certain political leaders, many of them with the BJP. Then, only hours later, the government issued the notification transferring him out of the Delhi High Court. Officially, the government said it was simply implementing an earlier collegium recommendation. But the sequence of events was impossible to ignore. Lawyers, retired judges, and even opposition politicians publicly asked why the notification had to be issued that very night. The debate did not end there. Years later, former Supreme Court Judge Justice Madan Lokur revealed that the Modi government had repeatedly pressed the Collegium to transfer Justice Muralidhar because of one of his judgments. According to Lokur, several members of the Collegium resisted these efforts, and the transfer happened only after judges who opposed the move had retired. In fact, Justice Lokur, legal luminary Fali S. Nariman, and senior advocate Sriram Panchu wrote in the Indian Express asking why the Collegium did not choose Justice Muralidhar to become a Supreme Court judge. After his transfer, Justice Muralidhar went on to serve in the Punjab and Haryana High Court before being appointed Chief Justice of the Orissa High Court. He retired in 2023. Many in the legal community still believe that a judge with his record could have eventually found a place in the Supreme Court, but that did not happen. Even if the government did not give him the respect that he deserved, his retirement did not mark the end of his public life. In 2024, he was appointed to chair the United Nations Commission of Inquiry looking at the situation in Israel and the Palestinian territories. And today, we have a report stacked with evidence that calls out Israel for its brutality. And Justice Muralidhar is the driving force behind it.